Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest and exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Motorhead Garage is presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Jeeps like this Gladiator are wildly popular. Folks love to customize them too. One of the first things they want to do is add bigger tires, and Tom Allen, that is where they run into trouble. What kind of issues do they have when they want to put big tires on these things?
Well, our specialty is fixing the steering issue. Once they put the larger tires on them, they've got locking differentials, they start going off-road, turning effort gets increased greatly. You cannot steer these things. These newer Jeeps have electric power steering pumps on them, and you just overload them. Most of the time they'll just fail right off the bat. So what we've done, we've came back and designed a heavy-duty steering kit that actually replaces the pump with a hydraulic belt-driven pump. Like, we built a heavy-duty steering gear, and then we also have a cylinder assist system. So once you get really, really big and you got the larger tires with the bigger axles, our heavy-duty steering one is really labors then. So now we got a assist we put on it to help even more.
And which one's that unit there?
So our assist cylinders or gearboxes are these. This is our heavy-duty steering gear right here. This is an original steering gear. It comes off these things, and this is one we have modified for cylinder assist. But the biggest difference between the original steering gears and our gears, we put the larger sector shaft in here so you don't twist them off. This is an original 32 millimeter, ours is 45 millimeter. We put a larger piston inside of it, which gives it a lot more output torque. Basically, we have increased the piston size to increase the output torque. It's pressure times piston area, and that's what gives you your output torque or your power to turn it. So we just built a heavy-duty steering gear that allows you to turn about anything you want.
And why would you want to use the smaller unit here instead of the big beefier one?
So we do the modified smaller units for a lot of customers are doing Hemi conversions. And the Hemi conversion does not allow to put our heavy-duty XD steering gear into it. So we'll go ahead and do a version that still has the cylinder assist, gives them more output torque, more turning power, but it allows you to run a Hemi. It's not as much as the big one, but it still gets you where you want to go.
Those Hemi engines don't leave a lot of space.
No.
Now, Tom, tell me about this beauty right down here.
All right, so this is where we're bringing modern technology that was designed and originally used in NASCAR. We're making it readily available for the muscle car guy. The guy that's got the 71 Camaro, 69, all that kind of stuff. We now currently build this in Texas completely for that market. It's 100% new, 100% latest technology that's available.
And it's a quick ratio steering.
It's a quick ratio steering gear. This is a 12-to-1, and we do have 10-to-1s, 8-to-1s, and 6-to-1s available for those that are out there. That's kind of really quick. That's kind of your parking lot racing kind of guys, but they are available.
Well, Tom, you brought some heavy-duty upgrade kits, some pretty cool stuff here on your displays. Now, this is one for some of the older Jeeps, and tell me about this system. Okay, so this is one of our cylinder assist systems. It's a complete one kind of laid out here. This is for 97 to 06 Jeep Wranglers. So this is a larger, heavier-duty steering gear. It's got, like the other ones we discussed earlier, it's got the bigger piston in it. This is actually the cylinder that mounts onto the axle. This is what gives it really its extra power. You know, you've added another 3,000 pounds of turning force right directly between the tires. Pretty amazing.
And we've got a pump, a high pressure, high volume pump we sell with the kits. It comes with our own reservoir. This reservoir actually has a filter inside of it which can be serviced. Got coolers that come with all our kits. And then we also have a pressure relief valve right here. It keeps the system pressurized at 6 pounds. And once it hits 6 pounds, it'll bleed it off. And it's anti-splash. It will not spill no oil anywhere, but it's a pretty solid off-road kit.
And for some of the newer vehicles here, we'll flip this baby around. I feel like it's a Doug Henning magic show here. Thank you. All right, here we go. If you got a newer Jeep, this is what you want to get.
So now we're stepping up into the JK series, 07 to 18. Now this is pretty much similar. We're replacing the pump with a heavy-duty pump, a lot larger steering gear. This is massive compared to the original one. Here again is our steering cylinder, and again here's our reservoir. This one actually shows the filter that can be serviced. That filter serves two purposes. It's actually the baffle. When the fluid returns back in, it baffles and keeps the fluid nice and non-aerated, and then there's our relief valve up there on top again.
Well, if you've got a JL or a JT, this is what you're going to want to get here. Tom, you've got a little bit of a twist here with this reservoir. It's a little different from the other units.
Yeah, so what we've done here, so your JLs and JTs come with electric power steering pumps, which are mounted down on the front passenger side frame horn. What we have done is converted them back over to a belt-driven pump, conventional like all our previous stuff we've done, and we put this reservoir in that area to feed that pump. So this is a complete heavy-duty kit that'll fit the JLs, JTs. The kits are a little different. The JT has a different mount for the pump, but basically, other than that, they're the same. And this is our #1 selling kit right now. They're building these Jeeps $30,000 a month, so it's a home run for us.
Well, if you're going to beef up your tires, you're going to have to beef up your steering as well. You can find out how at jeepsteering.com. We will return with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings and more cool aftermarket products for your vehicle right after this.
The Indianapolis Motor Speedway covers over 250 acres. Just to put that into perspective, everything on this list could fit inside the 2.5-mile track with room to spare. Or if you'd rather, 3 Disneyland parks could fit into the infield. Amazingly, Indy cars can lap all of it in just under 40 seconds. Stay tuned. More Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings right after this. Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings is brought to you by Rockauto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radios since 1977. And by Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Our friends at McNasty Customz are famous for making truck conversions like this. This will take your old diesel and make it look like a much newer one. So the facelift business is big for you guys. But Andrew, you're also in the UTV business, and that's a big one as well. Why do folks want to upgrade a UTV the second they buy it?
Well, the UTVs are a ton of fun, but they come basically stripped, and there's so many options to any different. You can do anything to this machine. You can make it faster, slower, raise it up, put a gear reduction, lift it. I mean, and obviously protect it. So the main thing we sell is our front guards. Our guards are very important. The firewall front section of the razors, the Kawasaki is the only one that comes in steel. Every other brand is plastic. So when you're driving down the trail, anything can protrude through. There have been deaths. There's a lot of people that have been seriously injured. I mean, we have pictures on our Facebook and so on that you can see where the limbs have come through. So we designed up these guards that go on the front, and you bolt them on the front firewall of the guard, and it keeps anything from poking through. And we have different ways of upgrading them to make them even stronger. And we actually have bulletproof plates that we bolt on them.
124 grain hollow points of a suppressed MP5. This time, full auto.
And on one of our videos in that, we shoot it with a 40, and it doesn't penetrate. So this is the ultimate in protection if you want safety first.
You're talking function when it comes to safety. How important is form and looks in what you do? Because you're an artist.
Well, I design them up to look as good as they're going to perform. Because honestly, most of the time, they're not going to get used until that one time they do get used. So you want them to look good the entire time. So I designed mine with a bunch of holes in it along the sides, mud drain holes and so on. And mine are the only fully frame mounted. And that's crucial because all the other kind of guards that you can buy, there are a few options, they mount directly to the plastic floor. So what protection are you going to get when the guard is, it'll give you some protection, but it's like the bumper on a truck. You don't bolt it to the plastic grill. You bolt it directly to the steel frame. So that's why we design these up. They want them to look good the entire time. We want them to be firmly mounted onto the machine, but we want them to protect you so you don't have any issues down the line.
And how long have you been at this? What inspired you to start making safety devices like this?
Like you said earlier, I'm an artist. I just like the way things look. I like to add color, and that's mostly what this does too. I like to add color and look to something that is just dull. So I originally came in and I liked circles and all my stuff because it's structural. It's structural, it looks good. If you do it in the right, it's artwork. So I basically, you know what I'm saying? I basically design these up so they look good on a machine, but they function.
Let's walk from front to back here on the Polaris now. You talked about the firewall guards, and what's it like to install those?
Very simple to install, and I also made them in 4 ways to install, so nobody else has that. I have the only set of guards that you can fully mount to the frame. You can put them on with zip screws that we give you. We can give you nut certs to install them. You can put them on with zip ties, Or you can do what some factory Polaris did in frames and drill the holes and actually tap the holes and bolt them on. So there are multiple ways. And if you don't, like I said with the stainless steel straps, if you don't want to drill any holes in your frame, you can simply strap them on, and you can put them on in probably 10 minutes.
That's at the front of the vehicle, but you also have a match set here that goes on the rest of the vehicle. What else did you make?
Absolutely. These are the rear guards that would match the fronts. This is the exhaust cover that would get rid of that stinged exhaust. And these are the tub guards that protect your tubs.
And I really like this. You showed me this earlier. It's a very clever idea. Tell me what's going on.
Those are my little swampies. So on the bottom of your machine, you have your floor plug where all the water comes in and out of the machine. We eliminate that. So you don't have to put your hand in the mud, the stinky water, the cold in the winter. You simply bolt those on, and it will allow water to drain completely out of the floor without having to do anything to do with the plugs.
And everybody always loses the plugs anyway.
And the plugs are always missing.
I got it. Some great ideas here. Great inventions that are going to keep you safe and have you looking good on the trails. Check them out at McNasty Customz with a Z.com. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings in just a few.
There are about 327 million people in the United States, and 67% of them have driver's licenses. Which state has the most licensed drivers per capita? We can tell you it's not New York. Only 59% of New Yorkers drive. At 88%, Vermont has the most licensed drivers per capita.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
You are riding along with Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now, if you're looking for superior power sports accessories, look no further than Rhino USA. They make it easy with these ratchet straps to get your vehicle onto a trailer and out to the trail. But once you get out there, Ted, there's a whole separate set of problems that come with off-roading, and you guys have a solution for that.
Of course, yeah. When you're out, mud, dirt, sand, snow, vehicles are getting stuck. You got to get yourself out. So we got everything from shovels to straps, snatch blocks. We cover the gamut.
Let's start with the shovels. Now, you found a need for one of these, and you didn't have a shovel, so you developed one.
Right. Little embarrassing to be out in the field, off-roading in the dunes, and get stuck, and I've got a strap, but I've got no way to dig the vehicle out. So we started there, started developing the shovel. Nice big head on that thing to dig out when you're stuck in the sand or snow or mud.
And these folks have been doing this for years and years and years, and they've developed it for their own vehicles, for their own sports. You know it's going to be right for yours. And moving on to the hitch receiver here, tell me about that.
Yeah, nice big heavy steel hitch receiver. This is how you're going to connect your tow strap, either kinetic or regular recovery strap. And you don't want to be using a ball. That's what we see a lot of people doing. They're looping the end of a tow strap over a ball, which creates a metal
projectile coming
right
on a rubber band. That's terrible.
People are getting hurt with that kind of stuff.
That's a terrible idea.
Using the proper tool for the proper application is important.
And the hitch is the safest place from which to tow a vehicle.
Absolutely, 100%. Yes.
Very good. Moving on to the snatch block there.
So snatch block, you're going to use this with our winch recovery kit. We'll come with a tree saver strap, snatch block, tow strap. And we could build custom kits for anybody, any application, whether it be self-recovery or recovering other vehicles. Seems like the trend in the industry now is moving on to lightweight, kinetic on the snatch straps, and soft shackles, which this is our half-inch heavy-duty soft shackle that we use for Jeeps and heavy-duty recovery.
Why are folks moving toward the soft shackles away from the hard shackles?
Well, they can be safer, but lighter, easier to carry, more compact. You can smash this thing up, and you're carrying a lot of gear out there when you're off-roading, so compact is important.
And that's probably the preferred method if you're fastening to maybe your roll bar or something you don't want to get scratched up
Sure,
to.
absolutely. A little easier. You can create tie-down points with this. Rather, with a D-ring, you have to have a D-ring mount or the shackle hitch receiver.
Probably get a lot of folks that are skeptical, saying that probably doesn't hold as much weight as one of the regular shackles.
Very surprising, but 46,000 lab tested on this thing. So,
my goodness.
I mean, they're massively strong.
And then that's something you touched on there, lab testing. You guys do that. You hear a lot of folks that don't do the actual lab tests.
Right.
How much do you test all of your gear?
We lab test every single product. We post our lab test results on our listings, our product listings, and on our packaging. So, and we put that right on the label of every single thing we sell.
What if maybe I'm new to off-roading or new to this kind of stuff and I don't know what I need? What can I do?
Give us a call. We have an 800 number. We encourage everybody to give us a call. Our techs are standing by. They'll answer any questions you have. We also post our address. We have an office on the East Coast, office on the West Coast. Walk in. We get walk-ins every day. We talk to them in person, and we love talking to the customers.
Well, you can walk in, you can check out their website, and you can even give them a call. Check them out at rhinousainc.com. I bet you they have what you need. When you go to thelastcoat.com/motorhead, you see their great line of products that are going to make your vehicle look great, and you'll also find a lot of accessories to make the job easier. And you are a professional detailer, Nick.
Yes.
That is why you can get this on your website. It is a mitt, and it's got two sides to it. Tell me how it works.
So this is our wash mitt side. You can use this to physically wash your car as well. Then on our other side, it is our clay mitt side. This is going to be used to decontaminate the paint surface. Now we also have the wash mitt side to lubricate the surface because we do not want our clay side on dry paint. So we're going to use this and our last soap to create a nice lubricated surface for our mitt to run across smoothly. This is going to pull out those contaminations that when we wash a vehicle just don't come out. So you wash your vehicle, you're like, it still feels kind of rough. This is the key to that. So you're going to use this to pull all that stuff out, as well as this is going to be a great prep step for applying TLC. This is going to make TLC bond even more to the paint surface and create a better lock on the paint.
When you get down to the microscopic level, how does the clay mitt actually work?
So this will go across the rough surface and it gets down into the pore that we can't physically do when washing, and it will actually pull out the contamination. So this is why when we use a clay mitt or any type of clay, we follow up with a paint protection to seal those pores back up and then make sure everything is nice and easy to wash and protected from there on out.
Well, between all their chemicals and their accessories, the Last Coat is making things easy for you, and they're going to make your car look great. Check them out at thelastcoat.com/Motorhead because there's a special deal waiting just for you. Do not go anywhere because Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, will return right after this.
Time to test your automotive IQ. General Motors performed the first automotive crash test way back in 1934. When did the federal government begin publishing the results of their crash testing? Was it 1940, 1955, 1968, or 1979? If you guessed 1979, you know your stuff. Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by Borla, the world's most winning exhaust. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Grayson Motorsports, the aftermarket leader for side-by-side parts and accessories. And by Tribotex, make your engine last longer.
Standing by at the Rockauto.com desk, and we actually have some breaking news, right, Tom Taylor?
We do. The first news is about 20 years ago, Chilton and Haynes combined and became one company. But then the breaking news is in 2020, another company bought up Chilton and Haynes.
And Chilton and Haynes do the service manuals for a lot of vehicles.
Right. They used to take apart vehicles and document it in manuals, paper manuals, and they have discs also. Well, the company that bought them in 2020 announced that they're not going to make any more new manuals for new vehicles as they come out, neither on paper or on disc. The good news is Rockauto.com will still have the existing print manuals indefinitely. As long as this new company keeps printing them, we'll have them for sale. And we also have reproduction factory repair manuals on disc or on paper. And that's the official factory manuals. You can't go wrong there. Something else we have for some, especially classic vehicles, is reproduction owner's manuals, what was in the glove box originally.
Very cool.
And even sales brochures from the dealerships would have in racks for some classic vehicles.
I love it. So the service manuals come in handy if you actually need to make a repair on that vehicle, but also for the collector, this is some nostalgia as well.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Now, where can we find this on the Rockauto.com website?
Under the literature category.
Excellent. So tons and tons and tons of parts, plus a lot of things that go along with the vehicle and some things for nostalgia's sake, which is very cool. Check it all out at rockauto.com. At NHOU Protective Coatings, Joe's taught us a ton about fighting rust underneath our car. But Joe, this isn't a magic bullet. This isn't just a one and done sort of thing. What do we have to do to make this a routine?
Right, you're never going to beat Mother Nature. So what we're doing is slowing her down, and this is an annual application. You want to just be proactive.
In the course of applying these products underneath the car, you've come across something a little more heavy duty.
Yes, so we discovered there were weak points in our system, and one of them was the washout areas, the very abrasive areas like the wheel wells, the backs of the bumpers. And so what we did was we came out with a heavy-duty version of our oil, which will substantially extend the protection time.
How does it work compared to the other
products you have?
Same product. It doesn't have quite the creeping ability, but what we do is we only put it in the areas where it's washout and you don't need it to creep. We can see it, we get 100% coverage.
How do I know this is the product that I want?
We have actually introduced in our shop this year what we call NHOU HD. So we've slightly refined the formula in the wheel well guard, and now we're applying this to substantial areas under the undercarriage of your vehicle for that high-use, heavy traffic commercial driver who isn't getting a full year on the chassis with the oil itself. You can come into our shop and we will spray the much thicker version of our product, the HD, on the undercarriage, including oil and body cavities, which is critical, but that will extend the protection close to a year, in some cases maybe 2.
Well, we can assure you it's super goopy. In fact, check that. I mean, boy, that's really thick stuff. And I'm going to show you how viscous this is. Believe me, folks, I do my own stunts here. Ready for this? That's amazing stuff. It is the NHOU HD. And you can check out that and the rest of their products at NHOUundercoating.com.
You're a braver man than I am.
We sure are glad you came along for the ride today, and we're going to do it next week, so please join us then. In the meantime, if you have a product you'd like to see on the show, email Jeff at masterstv.com. He'd like to hear from you, and we'd like to see you here in the studio. Until next week, from our Borla studios, from our entire crew, we'll see you